Here in this chapter, now we are going to study determination of equilibrium price and output under perfect competition. Okay. Now first we will check out short run equilibrium. Now in a row, first we will check out equilibrium of industry or price determination. Equilibrium of industry, that means we are checking out the market price. How market price is decided. Okay. So in this, under perfect competition, no single firm or single consumer can influence the price. Why? Because it is about market. So one single firm or one single consumer will have no effect on price. Why? Because of its share, negligible share. Negligible means if we are checking out one individual, they have no share according to the total supply in the market, or you can say total demand in the market, or you can say industry. Okay. However, the price are determined through industry's supply curve and industry's demand curve, that is SS and DD respectively. The short run equilibrium is determined at a point where DD and SS, that is demand curve and supply curve of industry, do remember, okay, intersect each other. Now wherever they intersect each other, that point is point E, that means the point of equilibrium. Okay, you can check out this graph, the one which is being shown down. Later on it is explained, so you can check out that if price rises from OP to OP1, what is the condition? There is excess supply, okay, which pull down the price. On the other hand, if price decreases from OP to OP2, there is excess demand. So what will be the result? The price will increase. Okay, again it will result in the point E, equilibrium price. Okay. In this graph, we are going to check out price and output determination. Okay. What we are going to check out? We are going to check out price and output determination. Now, how we will check out at what price a firm should produce at what quantity? Okay. So, what is this? This is a graph which shows industry demand and supply. Now, what do you mean by industry's demand and supply? Industry's demand and supply means total market demand and supply. Now, total market demand, how we will determine? See, at one point of time, the demand and supply in the market will intersect. That is what I told you, right? Now, this is the price where my demand is also meeting and my supply is also meeting. That is the point of equilibrium. So, that means at price P, all the supplier, that means the combined supplier in the market is ready to supply OQ quantity. Okay. Now, if suppose I increase my price, I have increased my price. This graph I have already explained to you. Now, what will happen if I plot the point? Just check out. See what happened? Demand decreases. And what is the result on supply? Supply increase. Why? Because on large price, suppliers are ready to supply more, but the demand is less. Now, what is the situation in the market? This is the situation of excess supply. This is what we have already studied. Now, as soon as there is an excess supply, that means there is more supply in the market, excess goods. What happened? All the forces started acting. Now, when the force started acting, what happened? The price will start reducing. Why? Because this excess amount of goods has to be sold. Now, once it has to be sold, that means what will happen? I will start reducing my price. Now, if the price is reduced at one point of time, again the demand and supply will meet. That means it will bring down the price to P itself. Okay. So, in case of excess supply, this will happen. Now, next case, if at all I reduce my price. Okay. Now, I have reduced my price. What is the effect on supply? Now, supplier is not ready to supply. Why? Because the price is less, but the demand is high. Now, what is this case? This case is known as excess demand. Okay. Now, what happened here? Again, the demand is more, but there is no supply in the market, shortage of goods. Now, when there is shortage of goods, again all these forces started acting. Now, once the force started acting, again the price will rise. Why? Because the supply of goods are not there in the market, shortage is there. So, again the price will come to P. Why? Because here my demand and supply meets each other. Okay, intersect each other. So, again it will come on price P. So, anyhow there is only one point in the market where it is the point of satisfaction. Now, with this regard, if we will check out here, this is the curve, this is the diagram, or you can say graph, which shows individual firms output. That means what they will produce. Now at this price they will produce the quantity in the market. That means they will check out the quantity what is required in the market individually. Okay, so what they will do, they will check out how many firms, what is the supply of the firm, what is my resources, how much resources I have. Accordingly, calculating everything, they will decide the output over here. So but the price will be this. Okay, so at this price only, whatever output they want to produce, they will produce. Okay, now actually checking this, that means they are checking their actual cost. So they will check out their actual cost, that at least they should earn minimum profit. Now minimum profit is included in this price. That is, we have already studied. Why? Because price includes normal profit. Fine. So this is what at this price the firm will produce the quantity according to the cost. Now we'll check out equilibrium of firm in short run. The firm faces a perfectly elastic demand curve. Okay, the price are determined by the force of market demand and market supply. That means it is totally subjected to market. Okay, thus the firm is price taker. Now what do you mean by price taker? Price taker means accepting the price which is being decided in the market. They are not quoting their own price, they are not making their own price. Whatever demand and supply ka force decide, they are accepting that price. Okay, so that is why they are price taker. Since the firm is price taker, it has to decide the amount of output it should produce at the given price so as to maximize his profit. That is why what I explained you in the graph, right? What I explained you, now firm will decide at that particular price. That means at the price which is being given by the market. Okay, at that particular price, what amount of quantity they should produce, that is what amount of output they should give, so that they should earn maximum profit according to their resources. Okay, so that is why the firm is what? The firm is price adjuster. Why they are price adjuster? Because they are adjusting their output according to the price which is being decided in the market. Am I clear? Now we will check out short run equilibrium of individual firm. Okay, now when we are explaining any type of profit, you explain normal profit, supernormal profit, whatever, but first you will give the base of short run equilibrium of individual firm. Okay, now in short run, every individual firm attains equilibrium at a point where the following two conditions get satisfied. Do remember, to meet equilibrium they have to satisfy 2 points. Okay, first is what? AR. AR is average revenue, which is price, okay, is equals to MR. That is what we have studied in short run. AR is equals to MR, which is a straight line parallel to x-axis. Okay, so AR is equals to MR equals to MC. That means MC will cut AR MR from below and it will be equivalent to that. That is the point which is equilibrium point. Okay, so this is the first condition which should be satisfied. Second condition is MC should cut MR from below. Okay, it should go cut from down only. Do remember, 2 times MC cut MR. How? First from above. Okay, when it is cutting from above, that is not a point of equilibrium. Again, there also at that point also AR, MR and MC is equal. But that is not a point of equilibrium. Okay, so what is the point of equilibrium? When MC is cutting AR MR from below. Okay, so that is equilibrium of individual firm. Now first in a row we will check out supernormal profit. Now in case of supernormal profit, do remember first thing, average revenue. My average revenue, my earning will be more than my average cost. Okay, so average revenue will be greater than average cost. In short run, individual firm may earn supernormal profit. To know about profit loss in short run, average revenue and average cost are compared. So that is what I said. We will compare our average revenue, that is income, and average cost. That means what cost I have incurred. So if my average revenue is excess, more, okay, than expected, then it is supernormal profit. Am I clear? Now next we will go with the normal profit. Now what is normal profit? Firm are said to be earning normal profit where AR equals to AC. Now AC is what? My average cost. Now where my cost equals to my income, that is average revenue. At that point again I am getting equilibrium, but that is the situation of no profit, no loss. Now all these graph will be explained ahead in proper manner, but right now you understand. So that is, this is what situation? No profit, no loss situation. Okay, but it should be remembered that normal profit is a element of cost. So that is what we have seen. Price is inclusive of what? Inclusive of total cost plus normal profit. Okay, so do remember, whenever this situation arises, that is whenever we say normal profit, that means it is the price which is considered as no profit, no loss, that amount is included. Normal profit is already included in the price, or you can say cost. Okay, next is break even point. Break even point, that means as good as normal profit. Okay, that means break even point refers to the situation in which a firm neither earns profit nor earns loss. That means again a situation of no profit, no loss. Fine. So that is AR is equals to AC. So wherever AR is equals to AC, that is a point of break even point. Again we consider it a point of normal profit also. Now we will check out supernormal profit. How we will make the graph of supernormal profit? First, what we have studied, that in case of supernormal profit, as we are earning excess, what is there? AC is down to MC also, marginal cost. Okay, so this is my AC, C down. Okay, now my MC is above AC. Okay, now what I will do, I will always check MC. This is what I have studied. I will check out my marginal cost. So what I will do, I'll see where my marginal cost is cutting AR MR from down. So this is the point from where it is cutting. Okay, so I will plot a point. Now this is my quantity. Fine. Now I'll see to it where actually my cost, or you can say my product ka total output ka cost is. Okay, so this is what the cost which I am having. This is average cost. Okay, now above this is my MC. Now this part is what? This part is my supernormal profit. Okay, this is my supernormal profit. So this is how I will check out my supernormal profit. Now my normal profit. Again ARMR. Okay, ARMR is equal. That is a parallel straight line. Fine, to x-axis. This is what I have studied. Now what will happen in case of my normal profit? Again the situation will be same. What? AC is there. This is my AC. That is what I have studied. Now here MC will again cut from down, but what will happen? It will intersect AC. That means my AC, MC, AR, MR, everything will be equal. See at this point. So this is the point, where is the point, which is the point of equilibrium and which is known as normal profit. That means no profit, no loss situation. Which situation it is? No profit, no loss situation. This situation is also known as break even point. Okay, so what is it known as? This is no profit, no loss situation. Even you can call it as break even profit or break even point. Sorry. Okay, now next situation is my loss. Okay, again ARMR. But what is the situation in case of loss? Now in case of loss, I know that my average cost is above ARMR. Okay, this is my average cost. It is above ARMR. Why? Because I am suffering loss. So what I will do, I will check out my marginal cost. Marginal cost will cut it from down. Again I told you I will check the point where it is intersecting ARMR. Now this is the point where my MC is intersecting ARMR. Now this is this area which I am getting is what? This area is my loss, or you can say abnormal loss. Okay, so this is my abnormal loss. Fine. Now last is we are checking shutdown point. That means at what point of time the producer feels now he must shut down the business. Do remember, even though he is incurring loss, still he will continue the business. Why? Because he expect at least he can cover some of the loss, okay, with the sale of the product. Now what is the point where he think now he will not cover out his loss, rather he will make more loss out of it. So at what point he will shut down. So this is how we will study where he will shut down. Now we already know this is our ARMR. Now ARMR, my AC is already not touching it, it is above. Okay. Now here we will check out average variable cost. Okay, do remember what we will check out? Average variable cost. Now see, average variable cost is tangent to ARMR. That means it is above ARMR. Now average variable cost, when it is above ARMR, that means now this is huge loss. Huge loss means now I am not covering my loss, rather being incurring more loss if I will go for production. Okay, so I will see to it that this point, at particular this point where it is tangent, that means touching ARMR, average variable cost is touching ARMR, at this point I will stop my production. So this is the output where I will stop my production. So this is shutdown point. As I have explained you all the graphs before, that means all supernormal profit, normal profit, losses, shutdown point, everything. Here I am explaining you the theory ahead. Okay, so just get to it what actually loss is. Now how we will check out losses in short run. Okay, so we will check out short run losses of individual firm. Now in short run, firm may even suffer loss. Now in this case, what will be the situation? My average revenue will be less than average cost. Okay, now at that point, wherever my average revenue is less than average cost, at the point of equilibrium, the firm would be suffering what? Loss. See, you can check out in the graph will be explained to you later. Now you can check out ARMR, my income. Okay, now average cost is above ARMR. We have already studied that we will check out the point where MC is cutting ARMR from below. Now check out the point where MC is cutting from ARMR from below. Now if we will check out that point, the excess area which I am getting between MC and AC, that is the point of loss. Am I clear? So this is super normal loss, you can say. Fine. Now short run supply curve of individual firm. Now short run supply curve of individual firm is rising portion of MC curve from the minimum point of average variable cost. What we are doing here? We are checking out average variable cost. Now you will say, ma'am, why is it necessary to check average variable cost? Because we are checking over here shutdown point. Shutdown point means that point where a producer will shut down his business. Do remember, though producer incur loss, but still he will continue producing. Why? Because he expect that he will recover some of his loss. Okay, so with that expectation he keep on producing. So that is what now we will check out average variable cost. When we will check out that my average variable cost is more than my average revenue. Okay, so that point, that means there I am incurring heavy loss. Now I am not gaining any profit, I am not earning anything, rather I am giving out of from my pocket. So that is the point which is known as shutdown point. Okay, now short run supply curve of individual firm, that is what we were checking out. Now here what will be the situation? That is, now individual firm is rising portion of MC curve from the minimum point of average variable curve, as the rising portion signifies direct relationship with price and quantity. Okay, so when I will check out that my average variable cost is rising, So that is what I am incurring loss. Why? Because it is directly connected with price, and again the price I have already checked out in the beginning in the graph that my price decides what output I will produce. That is the quantity which I will produce. So it has a direct relationship. Okay, next is shutdown point. Now in short run, when an individual firm suffers from loss, then it has to decide that whether to operate in long run or not. That is what I said, whether he should go for the business or shut down his business. If the firm earns sufficient income to cover its variable cost, that is why I checked out average variable cost. Okay, so if I am earning sufficient average revenue to cover my average variable cost, I will be in the business, or else what I will do, I will leave. Okay, so I will operate in long run. However, if it is can't, then the firm will shut down. Hence shutdown point is the point beyond which a firm does not operate. That means my price is less than average variable cost. Okay, now the last topic is long run equilibrium of individual firm. Now firm under perfect competition earns only normal profit. Okay, that is AR is equals to AC. Now why do we say so? Because we have already studied under perfect competition my average revenue is always equals, my average AR is equals to MR. But in long run, my all factors are variable. There is no fixed factor. Okay, so that is why I always earn normal profit in case of long run. Okay, so do remember, under perfect competition, if it is long run, AR is equals to AC, that is only normal profit. Any supernormal profit in the short run will be wiped out. Wiped out, that means vanished, removed. Why? Because if firm will see that there is a supernormal profit, more firm will come into the business, right? More firm, that means more supply. As soon as there is more supply, excess profit will be wiped out. Fine. Vice versa, if there is a loss, what will happen? Firm will shut down their business. Okay, so again this excess loss will be wiped out. So there will be a situation of no profit, no loss. That is normal profit. Okay. However, the condition for long run equilibrium is as follows. So that is what we are checking out the condition. First condition is what? P, that is the average revenue is what? Equals to long run average cost. That is long run average cost is considered what? Normal profit. Okay. Now LMC, that is long run marginal cost is equals to marginal revenue, and LMC should cut MR from below. Again the condition is same. Whatever it is, LMC, that is marginal cost, will at any cost cut MR from below. Okay, so that is what the condition we will check out. Now under perfect competition, long run equilibrium condition becomes LMC equals to MR equals to AR equals to LAC. Okay, so long run equilibrium of the industry is what? In long run, industry would be in equilibrium when following two conditions get satisfied. Now which are the two conditions? First is market demand is equals to market supply. Industry is neither expanding nor contracting, that is it has stability. Okay, now no industry is expanding their business, no one is contracting, they are stable. Okay, that is what. First is market demand is equals to market supply. Second is industry is neither expanding nor contracting. Now we will check out the last topic, that is viable industry and non-viable industry. See, this is not a very important topic, but sometimes it has been seen that it comes for 2 marks. So why to lose marks? That let's go for it. So what is viable industry? Now we in India, or you can say wherever the business is, 99% it is viable industry. Now viable industry means which industry? The industry whose demand and supply intersect at one point of time. Okay, now viable industry, an industry is said to be viable in condition if corresponding to the minimum price there is some demand in the market for an industry is to be viable. Demand and supply curve should intersect in the first quadrant. Okay, so that is demand and supply is intersecting each other at one point of time, that is at price P. Okay, so that is viable industry. Now non-viable industry. A non-viable industry is one which will not produce the product in an economy, maybe due to very high cost of production. Now example is given, commercial aircraft industries in India. Now I will clear it up with non-viable industry. Now non-viable industry means those industries whose demand goes separately and supply goes separately. That means they don't come in contact with each other at any point of time. Fine. Now you can understand this with Kingfisher ka airline. Now their demand was totally separate and their supply was altogether different. So that is why it came on the situation of that is shut down. Okay, so that is why the industry is shut down. So the industry whose demand and supply is not meeting each other at any point of time, that is non-viable industry. I hope I am clear with the topic. We are done with microeconomics with this.